This will be the functional weaving. That means that you'll be able to use it, and I plan on using mine as a necklace. So what you want to start out with is figuring out which side of the cardboard you want to be the front. This is going to be my back, so I'm going to write my name on it. And on the front, I'm going to draw 5 lines. 1, 2, 3. Always do 1 in the middle and 2 on each side. That'll make it nice and balanced. And then the same thing up top. Try to make them as even as possible. If you want to use a ruler for this, that'd be a good idea. Take your scissors and cut into those slits. This is so that you can, you've made your loom, and so now you can create your warp. Take a long piece of string, probably as long as, maybe as long as your table. Measure it from end to end of your table. Stick it in one of the slits, leaving a tail in the back. Come down to the one below. Make sure it goes all the way up into the slit, and then go next door to the next slit. Go up and next door, down and next door. Continue this pattern until you reach the end of your loom. Cut off all your extra. If these are not staying in, you can, if you leave them long enough, you could tie them together, or you could tape the ends together. Or just tape them onto the cardboard so they stay out of your way. Okay, you've created your warp, and now we need to do our weft. So you'll need another long piece of string. I like to measure this from fingertip to fingertip when I stretch my arms out as far as I can. Just gives me a good amount to start with. It's always good to have less when you're weaving the weft, because if you have too much, it can get tangled up and in the way. So less is more in this situation. You can also take the end of the string for this and tape it on the back. Just remember you're starting at the bottom, so you want to also tape the tail near the bottom. Okay, it doesn't matter which side of the cardboard you start on, or if you start with an under or an over. It's up to you. I like to start with under, go over and under, over and under. Now your strings may be tight, so you might have to lift them up to go under it. Pull all the way through. This is important. Some people forget to pull all the way through. Make sure you pull it all the way, and then you beat it, which means that you push down so that you're ready to weave the next row. Okay, here's the important part. If you went under before, you need to go over this time so that the string doesn't just pull back out when you weave. So it needs to be opposite. That one's under, I'm going to go over. This is also a time when you have the needle through here when you can beat it, which means that you could push down the row before to make sure it's nice and pushed all the way down so that the next row can fit in. So feel free to leave it like that until you get your needle through, and then you can beat it. Push that down. All right, pull all the way through. And just continue that pattern, always checking the one you did before. If this is under, I go over now. Under, over, under, over. Continue weaving, and when you get to the end of this string, when you have just a little bit left, you'll be able to cut off the needle, take this end of the string and a new end of another string and tie them together and continue weaving. Anytime you're ready for a new string, a new color, you can always tie on the next color, put your needle back on, and continue weaving. Now, since this is going to be a necklace, you will need to create a loop for the necklace at the top when you're finished. And that could be done, say this is the top, you can loop it through the weft, or you could loop it through the warp right here, or a couple of the warps, and create a necklace. You can also add beads. Feel free to decorate the background of the cardboard that's still showing. This will all be covered with yarn, but the edges will still be cardboard. So if you would like to take a hole puncher and punch around the edges, you can do that. If you just make sure you don't punch out these. If you'd like to take colored pencils and color the edges and create some geometric patterns, you can do that. That's up to you. Markers would work fine. Crayons would probably work fine. Colored pencils will be fine. Another thing that you could do with your weaving is weave halfway through your weft. Let me show you. So this is over. I'm going to go under, over, and I'm going to come out without going all the way through. And so now I'm here in the middle of my weft. I have to go back the other way. This is a way to create, instead of just having the continuous patterns. This way you can create some blue patterns here. I could come back in and I can weave on this side to fill it back up. You could weave 4 and then weave 3, and then you can weave 2 and then 1 and create this diagonal stair step pattern. So experiment with the weaving. What's cool about this is you don't like it or you mess it up and you're not sure what you did. It's not permanent because it's not tied in or taped in or anything. You can just pull it all back out and try something different. So have fun and experiment with your weaving, and also if you'd like to add some beads or something in your weaving, you could pull this through, put a bead on, and then you'll have a bead in the middle of your weaving. So ask me if you need any extra materials, okay?